Hey team, so here is a short video on how to use Facebook and how to do posts, how to make people comment on your posts, and how to use posts and get leads from your posts, and also find leads in different groups, and also in trolling or not trolling but following different threads, conversation threads. So the first thing we're going to talk about is if you have a Facebook page already put together, what you want is, if you have a workwithyournamepage.com, you're basically going to take the work with your name page, and what I start out with is a post from my work with my name page. And you see this invite friends? Okay, typically what this is good for is adding people to like you and follow you from your, like all your friends. So if you wanted to, like I can hit select all, and I can invite people to like me. So a lot of what I did when I first created this account, I created an account with a profile that would be for anything. It would be for anybody, not just friends or family. Because I wanted to separate my business, my social media business contacts and friends from my personal hangout with friends and family, relatives, etc. So that's what you had to decide. That's what you should decide. Make sure again in your about that you do fill it out, your work and education, places you've lived, contact basic info, family relationships, details about you, life events, and then of course your friends. Now a lot of people that you are friends with are going to also have friends. And when you join different groups, you're going to notice that inside some of those groups, you will have things in common. We'll talk about that once we get to the group section. So just right now, go back to the page. There is your page, and what I recommend is a lot of times you want to have a folder of photos or images, and I have quite a few saved that I just recirculate or sort of circle back to use, because not 100% will see you post, so it's basically okay if you post the same image or images or videos that you posted in the past. If you allow like a week or 2 weeks, you'd be surprised how many people will post or comment on your posts. So let me just see if I can find a couple of older posts that I haven't made in a while. And we go to, I have a folder that I created called Anthem Millionaire Academy. Okay, here we go. So in some of these, I actually have just want to go back to some older posts I haven't made in a while. Okay, let's see if this is one. This one. Some videos. Alright, here we go. So 10 reasons why you need a mentor, 1K per day money. There are some really interesting posts, and sometimes all I want to do is just post. It can be something controversial, something in the news media. You can piggyback on something that is, current event type of thing. You can piggyback on your personal experiences or things that you've done in your travels. You see a lot of people post videos that they find interesting and amusing. And this one is pretty interesting. Advanced what to do when you feel stuck or in a rut online. And so I'm going to share newsfeed and put it there as well. It's a public group. So here's a post that says only 24 hours left, advanced duplication and retention strategies, special online coaching event with no date, no time mentioned, just open. And see who bites, who grabs it, who mentions when, what's the time. And then what I may do is I've created a real event, and I may just send them the link to the real event. So that's how that could work. I also had a pretty interesting set of people responding. If you were told you had 6 months to live and offered a choice, 1 million cash tax-free or possibly pure, which one do you take? And I've had quite a few comments already, 13. It's interesting, what different people say. This one says she'd take a cure. My daughter needs me, not the money. That's a beautiful answer. Then, hope your health is well. And then Meg said, probably $1 million because I know, she meant it's KNW. I know there's ways to heal naturally, and then I can invest the rest. I said, you're working smarter. Oh, that's good. So that was an example of a post that you can come out with. So basically, go back to. So we're going to go back to managing your pages. In this particular example, you can post. We're going to post here. Now here's what's interesting is if you do post something from, you can take other people's posts sometime and share them. You can copy them. A lot of great ideas, different people. So yeah, there's some really cool posts that I've seen that people will put up. So let's see here. Again, I'm trying to stay away from product or company. talking about product or company, talk about current events, talk about issues, situations. That really is the smarter way, right? Here's one that I haven't used in a while. Right. And so now once you post on your page, right, then you can go where it says share, you can like your post, and then if you share, you can actually share it to a group. So you can go to a group, excuse me, you can go to a group, you can actually go to the group I was thinking of is the entrepreneur, new entrepreneur. Let's see if I have, it's the first letter that you type. Okay, just realized that that's weird. Usually, well, I'm just going to go ahead and post. And, I'm going to post it in a page. Let's see. I'll post it right here. Okay, so I can go see the posts because everything that I did shows up here. So I can go and look at the post, and here it is. I like it. Right? So every time you get an alert or somebody likes your post, it will show up in this little alert section here. And that's one way. I'm going to show you another way that you can piggyback. If I were to go to, you can pick a celebrity or pick somebody that, like Tony Robbins, for example. Tony Robbins, if you go to a Tony Robbins page, you go to one of his pages. Let's just look up Tony Robbins. So here's an example. You can go to Tony Robbins' page, and then you can so you can go here, and what you do is if you go really slow, you'll actually see people that are following or liking him. Let me just go back to, let's see. Okay, if you look really close. I'm just showing you how you can go through and people that watch the video. So you've got 29,000 views, and I'm just going to pause that. But if you look at, let's see. here we go, 988 likes, right? 74 comments, 167 shares. So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to take all the likes, 988, right? Take all the likes, and if I click on them, what you can actually do is you can go through each one of these and you can go, you know, select the ones that you think you like to connect with. 17 friends. Let's see. You see how I'm doing this? Right? So now I'm piggybacking on someone like Tony Robbins because I know people that if they like Tony Robbins and I like Tony Robbins and we have something in common automatically, and chances are they're building it's personal development, right? People that follow Tony Robbins or are into or like him are people looking for personal development. And that's what you're focusing on is personal development. That's what I'm focused on, and that's what's going to attract people to me are other people who are interested in personal development. Now here's somebody that has a mutual friend, so I can, right away, you got a mutual friend, you like Tony Robbins, you want to get 3 things in common with someone within the first 5 minutes of having a chat or a conversation. Here's somebody that I would probably find right here, because we got 17 mutual friends. So if I go like this, I go add, and then I can message, and here's what I'll do. I'll just show you what you would say in the message if I can. This will let me. Okay, so basically here's the message. So I would say, several things in common. Yeah, that's it. It's very simple. Now I could take this same message and send it to 30 different people and just change the name. Find people with that have mutual friends, at least that have mutual friends, and then you can build on that, if that makes sense, right? So, just go back to this, and then you can just hover over, and you can see, it'll even tell you right here, 1 mutual friend, 17 mutual friends, you can just keep expanding, right? So that's one way to do it, and the other way to do it is you go to a group. You go to network marketing group, and if you haven't joined any, like I've joined this one, so this one's pretty interesting. Here's one that has 69 members, so you could join this one. 69,000 members, that's a good size. And this one has This one has a pretty good size too. I'm already joining this one. Let me just double check. Just want to make sure. I think this one has. What is this one? 100,000. Okay, so it's got over 100,000 members, right? And you click on members, and then what I like to do, I really find people that are local because Facebook's algorithm will tell you people that live in your area, in your state, in your city. Or you can just add people that are new to the group. And when you hover over them, it'll tell you which ones you have things in common with, right? And you can find people that are in the United States, you can find people in countries. I typically like to start, people in the same time zone if possible, or 3 hours, different time zone. 6 hours is a little unique. 12 hours, it can be a challenge. But basically, you start, and you can basically go here. So this is how easy this is. And you can do 30 connects a day. You can connect with 30 people every 24 hours. All right, so enjoy, start using this, and you will start making connections. And then once you make connections, the next step is to basically find their pain and talk about them and ask them questions and find out what their challenge is and what they really are looking for a solution. The one who asks most questions will usually win. And you can either send them a link, you can get comfortable with this. I wouldn't send them the funnel link right away. I would, give it a little bit of time, maybe a couple, 2, 3 different exposures, touch points, before you just kind of talk about or send them your link. If they really ask what you do, and then you find out what they do, and then find out what is their biggest challenge that they're trying to overcome, and how you can be the solver of that. That's the goal, is for you to be the solver. And that's when you tell them that you've discovered something that really has given you a front-end income. You've discovered something that has solved your pain, your problem when it comes to the online world. So that's my take on this piece of it.